everyone, and welcome to Big Girl and Friends. My name is Christopher Wilson, and I'm happy to welcome you here today for our fourth episode, having in our exciting launch week. We've had an amazing week. This week we started with Alessandro Costantini, fresh off of the national tour of Dear Evan Hands Clean. Yes, I said that. Followed by the superstar Gabby Epstein, who recently performed in the very empty little shop of horrors. Bad joke. And finally, we concluded yesterday with Mr. Tom Allison, who graced us with gorgeous stories and fabulous things. And we're having a great week. And we have another fabulous guest tonight, which I'm not going to let the cat out of the bag right now. So I wanted to acknowledge Mr. Michael Rubinoff and the entire participants from across the country who participated in the fabulous broadcast yesterday, the 24-hour telethon called Places, Please. That was brilliantly orchestrated by Mr. Rubinoff and his team. They raised over $40,000 for the Actors Fund of Canada. And we are just so extraordinarily proud of their efforts. And of course, as we are continuing our efforts, we ask you tonight and going forward to please donate to afchelps.ca. So before I proceed, I'm going to welcome to the stream my brilliant best friend, artistic associate of Toronto Musical Concerts, and very well-dressed snappy man tonight. Welcome, Mr. Ryan Kelly!
Woo! How's it going, everybody?
Hey, Ryan. Oh my God, show us your mug.
Well, okay, so there's reason to my outfit and my snack and how it is all arranged. You haven't noticed yet. Our guest tonight is a combination to me of absolute class and comfort. So I am wearing a little bit of actually Canadian class on my shirt tonight, a little bit of Sarah Polly. Got Sarah Polly there tonight, and I've got my comfortable robe, and I've got my classiest Royals in the World mug, and I'm eating on the good china tonight, and with the goldware that my grandparents left me. And a piece of pie. These are all clues. I don't know if she's a royalist. She may be.
A monarchist, a
royalist, a monarchist, perhaps. I don't know. A colonist? No. So I'll leave that to Manuel, the writer of Hamilton. Was it Lin-Manuel Miranda to make comments, music theater commentary on colonialism? That's not my place, quite frankly. But yeah, so it's been an interesting day. Tell
me about your day.
Well, see, I am not like I love doing nothing. You know that, right? And I love being comfortable. I love watching things. I love absorbing movies, and I'm a big YouTuber actually. And so I watch a lot of YouTube channels, Jenna Marbles and the Try Guys, and Michelle Kerr, and people who, what Yes Theory, really inspiring stories, but also regular people who do their regular lives, but also are good people and kind people. And when my dog passed away last year, watching Jenna Marbles get a new dog in her family via YouTube was extremely gratifying and soothing for me to watch the story of that. So I've been watching a lot of Vine compilations, and if anybody is out there in the world feeling lonely and awake at 3 a.m, as I am, because time means nothing anymore, watch Vine compilations. They are 6-second little nuggets of gold, but they're a little old school too, so their memes are a little bit like they've got some history there. But then that led me to watching TikTok compilations.
Tell us about your TikTok adventures.
Well, I got the TikTok last night at 2 a.m. And
the TikTok?
I got the TikTok. Well, finally, because I finally learned how to delete a good portion of pictures and stuff off my phone officially. Okay. My phone is always full of pictures, and I don't want to get rid of a good portion of pictures, but sometimes the airdrop works and sometimes it doesn't. Long story short, I was getting rid of a lot of photos and videos, and suddenly TikTok that I had tried to download months ago actually started downloading because there was finally room on my phone. So I got it and I had a look at it, and I found some of my students on it from George Brown who do these dance challenges. And of course I got that 10 push-ups challenge that I'm not going to put online because
Matthew Bradley, our friend, was rocking it this morning.
You know, I got challenged by some of my 21-year-old students, and I was like, kids, I'm not putting push-ups online, but I will make a fool of myself trying to learn hip freaking choreography. Hi, Peter. And so I did a dance challenge, and I sweat my nuts off last night at 2:30 in the morning, and then it's true, they're gone. They're gone, so and then today
Wait, I'm like, mother, don't listen to this.
If anyone was at my 40th birthday roast, they've heard every version of insult or rudity that could be said about me in my life.
Rudity.
So,
I
anyway,
love that you just made a new phrase, rudity.
It's a perfectly cromulent word, according to this country. So, just
like you had an awesome day.
Well, I didn't. I did nothing other than learn 2 counts of 8 for a stupid Funky Town dance challenge.
Oh,
and I'm like,
you.
oh, my arms don't move this fast anymore. Like, and it wasn't that hard. I made it look hard, though. Anyway, that's my adventure today.
Gorgeous.
Now I'm sitting down with some tea and pie.
Beautiful. Ryan, briefly, I'm going to go. I gave our guest a little warning. I was going to have a little chit chat at the beginning. I'm going to take you off stream for a sec, just so I can.
Take me away, Calgon.
Okay, you're out. I'm leaving you, but I'll see you in a red hot second. So, today was an interesting day. I mean, obviously, the whole purpose of Big Girl and Friends is, as we said, it's about levity. It's about bringing joy to people at this time when we're ideally practicing social isolation, and doing what needs to be done to make sure that we're preventing the spread of this virus that sadly is really ramping up quite crazily in the United States, for example. I believe that the United States has now become the epicenter of the virus and might have even surpassed China because of population and the like. So, but I think, as we talked about last night with Tom, I think even as the host of this, I think sometimes when we have these energetic shifts throughout the day, sometimes we're happy, sometimes we're not. Today was a bit of a tricky day for me. I had a really difficult sleep and some really crappy dreams, and I had some connections with some close people to me that are now being directly affected by the COVID virus. So a student of mine, it seems that his sister has been diagnosed with the virus and is in quarantine, and she's doing okay. And I read on Facebook, a dear friend of ours, Liz Baird, who's a very accomplished music director in our community, she posted that she wasn't able to go to the nursing home to visit her dear mother who's suffering from dementia. And another friend of mine in a very similar situation, a very respected stage manager, Charlene Soroyan with the Capitol Theater in Port Hope. Her mother is also in a nursing home with dementia. And there are, I think, 9 confirmed cases of COVID in that nursing home in Oshawa, as well as 1 confirmed death. So it kind of put me in a funky place. And in light of Mr. Sondheim's 90th birthday this past Sunday, who, of course, is one of my biggest inspirations and influences, I decided that I was going to throw a song of offering into the mix today. And it's a beautiful piece from a television production that Sondheim wrote the music for, called Evening Primrose. And the song is called I Remember. And it's just got a beautiful sentiment that was making me speaking to my heart today. So I just wanted to share it with you before we welcome our superstar guest to bring it up in energy. So here it is. I remember sky, it was blue as eve, or at least I think. I remember sky, I remember snow, soft as feathers, sharp as thumbtacks, coming down like lint, and it made you squint when the wind would blow, and ice like vinyl on the streets, cold as silver white as sheets, rain like strings, and changing things like leaves. I remember leaves, green as spearmint, crisp as paper. I remember trees, bare as coat racks, spread like broken umbrellas, and parks and bridges, ponds and zoos, ruddy faces, muddy shoes, light and noise, and bees and boys, and days. I remember days, or at least I try. But as years go by, they're a sort of haze, and the bluest ink isn't really sky. And at times I think I would gladly die for a day of sky.
Thanks, Dollface. That was beautiful.
You.
I love that song.
Yeah,
I didn't know a lot of Sondheim when I first started Sheridan, and Gene Manili actually gave me that song to sing in my first year, and I didn't get it. You know, and I love that lyric, light and noise and bees and boys and days. It's just such a beautiful lyric to feel in your mouth too, right? Man, it's really, thank you, Chris. That was gorgeous.
Yeah, thank you. Well, listen, I think it's time to bring to the
our
screen
surprise comfort and class guest. Yes.
Please welcome without further ado, the gorgeous, the vivacious, the fabulous Miss Sarah Strange!
There she is! Oh, beautiful. How are you?
I'm okay. How are you?
I'm okay too. I'm so looking forward to this. You look beautiful tonight. You look sparkly. I love your hair. You're doing a real sort of like we can do it war effort realness I'm feeling tonight.
Thank you. Yesterday, Romer Segal said you can always count on Sarah Strange for Luke. And I thought, well, I can't let the fans down.
Well, that's what I say too. Akiva speaks the truth. Actually, I have a weird story about Akiva and this robe. Actually, if it comes up later. But first of all, tell us how you're doing. Tell us how the week has been. Tell us what you've been doing in your home. I'm guessing it might have something to do with something that I'm eating tonight. Perhaps.
It might have something to do with that, or maybe a little bit of this.
Oh yeah, I wish. Oh my gosh, I wish you lived in the apartment above me.
Like
you could just send a care pack.
I tried my first brioche. Come on.
That's beautiful.
Thank you.
I
love the color and the shine on it.
I love the way you said that. Your first brioche.
Well, I've never tried brioche, and I've been trying breads, and I've been making like. Dana and I call it the derpy loaf because you just sort of like move it and then you bake it. Thanks to Lisa Kish actually for that glorious recipe.
Oh yay, Lisa!
And then you bake it, and then it makes this wonderful derpy loaf that we love. And then I was like, well, maybe I'll try like real bread.
Well, I was just going to say very briefly. Lisa Kish is another friend of Big Girl and Friends, and she's actually with her family over in Spain right now in Sitges, just south of Barcelona. She posted on Facebook today. She's in bed. She says, "I'm sorry, sweetie, I got to watch all the archives because I'm too old. Mama's in bed by 10 o'clock."
That's fair. They're on lockdown Spain.
Well, they are in lockdown. They're absolutely
yeah.
in lockdown. But Sitges, just south of Barcelona, is actually doing quite well in terms of, COVID cases. But she was so funny. She wrote on Facebook today, she said, celebrating the small things. She was like, going to the recycling and taking my recycling and doing the recycling dance. I was like, dear Lisa, the recycling dance, my favorite.
Yeah. It makes life worthwhile. It's the little things.
That's what it is.
It's the little thing. And so are you making little thing loaf of breads or big thing
we're
loaf
doing
of bread?
this recipe it made 2 full loaves.
Oh, gorgeous.
All of 48 seconds to finish because it's very fresh and floofy. Why is this bread so good? And I was like, there's 6 eggs and a pound of butter in there. Oh, yeah, great. Okay. So
yeah,
fair enough.
And I've been baking online. I did a beef Wellington for the first time.
Do you have a YouTube channel?
What?
Do you have a YouTube channel?
No, I've been doing it on the Facebook Live.
Sarah, I want you to get a YouTube channel then.
I have one. It's just for other things.
I'm going to subscribe anyway. I love you. I love the YouTube, so I'm going to be checking you out and see if you're going to post any new stuff while we're in this brand new world of living in a box.
Right? It's crazy.
So obviously, as right, that was good. A little, that was good, Sarah.
This is my space.
It's like Madonna to a new thing. I'm not good as a TikTok. So obviously, as our viewers have surmised, Sarah is not only a brilliant performer, as you'll hear from her singing shortly, but she's also a very accomplished baker and a cook. And she's been doing cooking dinner with her lovely partner at home and sharing all of her things. We've all been like salivating. I've been doing a lot of drooling this week. But some is for singing, people singing, and I'm drooling, and most of it has been for watching all the things in your kitchen that aren't in mine. So, Sarah, tell us what you were up to before this COVID crazy.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, I was doing a play in Hamilton called A Belly Full. Cash wrote it.
At Theatre Aquarius by Marcia Cass, right?
Yeah, it was really, really fabulous. Beautiful group of women and a really lovely show about female empowerment and friendship and just all the good feelings that come and body positivity. I played a cancer survivor, fully body positive, learning how to belly dance in a church basement and coming to terms with just living your best life and at whatever size that is and whatever, like leave your bullshit at the door and just dance it out. And it was really great.
And if I may, just, obviously we're going in the moment. So like, we talk about our war wounds. I was using my trach yesterday. Yeah. So, I mean, I had a journey with untaken care of HIV and wrote a show that Ryan Kelly was a star in. And you yourself, yes, Living with Henry, and you yourself are also, you were playing a character who survived cancer, but you are yourself a cancer survivor.
Yeah, I am. It was like 2012, I got diagnosed with thyroid cancer. And after the doctor said that there was, it was like 90.
Oh, sorry, start that again.
There we go. After the doctor said,
I meant to do that.
As soon as the doctor said that there was like a 94% chance that I would never sing again, I really didn't hear anything else that he said. My best friend, Katie Beetham, was with me, and thank goodness for that because she made all kinds of notes. And after we got back to the apartment, she was like, okay, this is what he said. Boo, 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 boo. It turns out that my tumor was wrapped very tenaciously around my vocal cords, and my surgery ended up being extended in time because they had to call the chief of surgery in to assist because had they cut into anything, I wouldn't even really have been able to speak. And it was about 10 weeks post-surgery. I didn't really have much of a voice, and he told me that I couldn't even make a note or speak a word for the first little bit, for the first couple of weeks, which is difficult when you're me because I sing everything. Let me get the chip the stupid. And then it was like warming up, and I had one note, and then I had four, and then I had an octave, and it was a lot.
Has the sound of your voice or the feel in your voice changed from before and after?
Yes, huge amounts. I mean, I don't have something wrapped around my vocal cords anymore. So,
well, sure, yes, fair enough. I mean,
I can do things now that I couldn't do before. Like I have a higher belt now than I had before, which was sort of this new awesome discovery. But it was about 10 weeks post-surgery that I had my full voice, full strength. Now, removing your thyroid.
Only 10 weeks.
Only 10 weeks. Yeah. Wow. I mean, let's be real. My vocal cords are maybe the most used muscle in the body. So,
sure.
Like,
memory. You're strong. Yeah, and you've got a strong voice. I mean, that's obvious. You've got a strong. I have, you know what I have in the closet back here, hidden somewhere. Not myself, actually. I've got a video that needs to go into like a converted video size thing from a video camera of you doing your commercial performance the project at Sheridan in 1997.
I was like physically ill.
Really?
But I came off. I guess I left the stage for a second between the first and the second song, and I full on threw up.
You were amazing. I'd never heard you sing until then.
Thank you.
Oh, well, I mean, if your voice has only gotten better, and I've heard you sing since then too, and you're an incredibly versatile vocalist. And that's why I'm wearing the comfort, and you bring full class. That's what you do. You make me feel warm inside, but you elevate every song you sing.
Harry and Meghan, so we're good.
Nice. So what do you want to sing for? What do you want to offer for your first number tonight, Miss Sarah Strange?
I picked a song that was cut from Waitress. I just really love the message and the sentiment in it, so I thought it would be a good choice to open with.
Have a lovely sing then, Sarah. We'll see you afterward.
Thank you. When I was a girl, hardly more than 10 years old, my family moved to a small town, and I was destroyed, leaving all my friends behind. And if I'd had a choice, we'd have stayed put. It's only now I can see sometimes a little change can be good. At the end of the block, a ramshackle diner stood, my after-school stop, just to pass time, where I met a girl nearly 3 times my age, but still she painted my world with her kind words and soft curves. Just a schoolgirl crush, but you remind me of her. She saw something in me. I was lonely and misunderstood. She'd ask me to write down my wildest schemes, and over slices of blueberry pie, I learned to dream. She'd say, what good's a dreamer without a believer? We all just need someone to care. One who might listen and root for our wishes. Someone to simply be glad that we're there. What good's a hand if nobody needs holding and everything else falls away? If no one believes her, what good's a dreamer anyway? Thank God for that place. It practically saved me. Those school kids sure didn't take kind to this stranger. And I was eccentric, all grand plans and inventions that I would have just thrown away. By listening, she let me have something to say. What good's a dreamer all just need someone to care. One who might listen and root for our wishes. Someone to simply be glad that we're there. What good's a hand if nobody needs holding and everything else falls away? If no one believes her, what good's a dreamer anyway?
Sarah, come on. Beautiful.
Thank you.
How-
Huge shout out to Chris Sugiuchi for playing. They're perfect. They're perfect.
He's a master.
Oh, I can't.
He really is. And so are you. What a sound you've got. It's Chris, really, are we, like I said this yesterday, but
You go ahead. I was going to say it. Go ahead.
We're so fortunate. I feel like if nobody's watching, oh, there's Lana just saying it. She's like, this is giving me life. And I'm right there. Like, I'm like, wow. Yes, Elizabeth Rose. I'm like, yeah. I'm here like shouting in my living room, like, sing it! And all this stuff. And what a stunning song.
Right? It was cut from Waitress because it was written for the Doctor, and he's very goofy and sort of off the wall, and I think in the context of the show they were right to cut it because it doesn't really work. It's a little too like when all of his songs are sort of like she released the album of songs that were cut, and as soon as I heard it I was like, oh, what? No.
Yeah.
What
Yeah.
You're going to be in that Canadian production that hopefully Mirvish is going to produce. That's what I'm saying.
Well,
A prediction.
I'm just putting it out there.
Prediction number one.
I'm putting it out there.
I'm begging for a long time.
I mean, there are so many things that I want you to perform, but I'll add that to my list of the things that Sarah Strange will perform in my world that I'm creating for you.
or when we're allowed to have people over, it'll be in my living room because
Thank you, Marcia.
this is anyway, Sarah, you've had such an incredible journey since the end of school and through your life. And I remember when we reconnected after a long time, because I was SOL at one point trying to get somewhere on a contract. I needed to travel for a 10-week contract to London, and I don't drive, and I never learned how to drive, and that's a long story, a long sad story of Ryan's childhood.
You drive with me. You drive with me.
Yes.
In Ruby, my car.
In Ruby. But Sarah,
Ryan.
it's rare that I'll go on Facebook and be like, yo, step up. But Sarah did, and you gave me this ride out to London, and you drove Penny and I out there to our place, and we caught up of probably about 10 or 12 years of life that neither one of us had been in connection with, other than the random connections on Facebook that we had. And I can't tell you how I'm full of thanks, gratitudinous that I am, grateful. I guess that's the basic word of it. Grateful I am.
I love gratitudinal.
Gratitudinous, yeah. That our relationship has grown not only since then, but also through working with Chris in the last few years and with Toronto Musical Concerts. And I was so, not to put salt in the wound, but so excited about marrying you in the next concert.
Let's put it to the fall, guys. We'll put it to the fall.
Okay, all right, okay.
So what was that next concert we were going to do?
Postpone the marriage to the fall.
Martin Blair, Christopher Wilson. This piece that Leslie wrote is so epic and sweeping, and her music is so beautiful to sing in general, but this show in particular is joyful.
Right. So if I can briefly,
so timely too, right?
So,
like just so.
The House of Martin Guerre was written by Canadian composer and lyricist Ms. Leslie Arden, who is widely considered one of the foremost musical theater writers, of our generation, and unprecedentedly wrote a mega musical, The House of Martin Guerre, at the height of the emergence of the mega musicals in the 90s. In 1997, it started out as a reading, and then it was performed at the Jefferson Theater in Chicago to rave reviews. It then got
it went to Alumni Theater. It did a production at the Alumni Theater.
That's
I
right.
think either before or just after the Chicago production.
That's right. I can't remember. I've lost track of. Live Ent did a reading of it.
Yeah.
And of course, as we discussed on the show the other night, it was last night, I guess, we were talking about
Stage.
We were hoping, that it had a trajectory at the time, towards Broadway, but that doesn't say it can't potentially now. But anyway, it is one of the. Leslie is this incredible person, as we know, who studied with Stephen Sondheim. Of course, the man who just turned 90. She was one of 14 composers who studied with him at Oxford University in the early 90s prior to writing this.
She's the only woman as well who was.
I asked her. She was one of two.
One of two. Yeah, that was pretty international at that time. Yeah.
Yeah, so this was a workshop that was created by Cameron McIntosh at Oxford University in England, and she was invited as one of 14. In fact, they had closed the applications, and then they added her at the end because of her craft and her skill.
Yeah, she's brilliant.
Yeah. So the House of Margaret, we were working on the show for about 2 months on this beautiful score, because the score is so intricate and so intelligent, and
we had such a badass scenes together. Like, we were gonna be like fire. You wait, people. You wait.
So what we said, Ryan was actually in the original production in '97 at Cannes Stage in the pivotal role.
Shut up! I made a joke once.
It's funny to me.
The pivotal role of Philippe. No, it's very funny. But it was super exciting for me, because it was my first downtown show that I'd ever booked. I had gone from Sheridan to cruise ships, and then did one summer out in Port Hope, actually, with Ganaraska Summer Theater, as it was called back in the day, with Bruce Kelly and Ron Birmingham. Yeah. And Greg Peterson directed me, and Sherry Garner and Anna Kostenkar, Babs Kostenkar, remember, in Fiddler on the Roof. Denise Ocherik was out there too. Anthony Bastian was our musical director. It was such a cool summer. And then not knowing what came next, Martin Guerre, although it was short, it was only 5 weeks.
Right.
And in
the theater, in the production, the concert production we were about to do, Ryan grew up and was going to be playing the Martin's uncle, Pierre, and Sarah was going to be quite pivotal, and Sarah was playing playing Bernard, who is the mother of Bertrand, who is the ingenue in the show. Can
you see us together?
Yeah, beautiful.
We make a good pair, huh?
So, as you said, you were talking about sort of how timely Martin Guerre was. It's interesting, because as far as I'm concerned, I was talking about this, in some media reviews, interviews lately, that the show is very, it's got a very strong feminist statement. It's set in the 16th century, so in the early 1500s, at a time in the south of France, in a very small town of Artegat, when the world is being ruled by staunch traditional Catholicism and a patriarchal society. And in the midst of that, we have
a little vein of Protestantism working its way through.
That's right. Yeah, it's just on the cusp of the Age of Enlightenment and the Huguenots emerging. But the point is that this young girl, Bertrand, is trying to find her way and pursue love, and her mother, I keep going the wrong way. Her mother is this character who is trying to uphold these. Well, actually, I didn't explain. How would you describe your character?
Tell us about the character.
She's very God-fearing, and these are the rules. And we don't play about anything else except for this, because this is how it's been done, and this is how it's going to be done. So my way and God's way, or the highway.
What are the stakes that you're dealing with in this song as well? Like
specifically, I mean, without giving too many spoilers.
Sure.
She needs her daughter to sign this document because the family and our name is what is at stake. And in this time frame, I mean,
that was everything.
Your name is, you are only as good as your reputation. Yeah.
Okay. So the song that you're going to share comes from about the middle of Act 2, and this is Bertrand speaking to. This is Bernard speaking to her daughter Bertrand about the importance of what it is that she needs to do.
Now, did you want me to come in the middle with the background stuff that we had learned?
No.
Oh, okay, great. I'll mute myself then. I'm sure people are waiting for it.
I am using my book.
So,
well, we are
in TMC fashion.
Toronto musical concerts, and we do produce on book, and we had not begun staging yet. So we're happy that you are sharing this work. So it isn't that easy reprise. Thank you, Sarah.
Thank you. Wait, technical difficulty. Righteous whispers are in the air, and they come from people not unlike you. People wink and they nudge, and people drink and they judge. Well, in our town, that is nothing new. Vicious rumors are everywhere. Every man has a point of view. People say to my face that if they were in my place, they'd know exactly what they should do. Well, dear, that may or may not be true. And people say you should support Pierre. And people say turn to heaven above. Then people say your daughter is happy. Let them be. And people say theirs is a sordid affair. And people say, why can't you see they're in love? Then people say, why have you not helped to set them free? And people say, here is a man to renounce. And people say, what you are doing is wrong. And people say, yes, it is, or no, it is not he. And people say, honor is all that counts. And people say, how can Bernard be so strong? And people say, this is the only answer that can be. And they never see it isn't that easy for me. That is the way of the world. That is the way of a woman's world. That is the way of a woman's world.
Yeah! Gorgeous work, girl. Gorgeous. Beautiful. You're muted, Chris. We can't hear you. But maybe that's better. I wasn't muted.
That was beautiful, Sarah.
Gratitude for you for seeing Bernard and me.
Oh.
A lot of people, I am at a certain age and I am a very specific body type, and I do see myself in a lot of comedic roles, and it's really nice when I get seen in a serious light, and I'm getting to use my classical training.
Well, actually, I have to say that it was the writer and composer Leslie Arden that saw you in your highest light as this role. So, from the mouth of the creator. So, ladies and gentlemen, Toronto Musical Concerts will have this concert on stage before the end of this calendar year. It is my goal. In some incarnation, I am not letting go. I will not. Anyway.
Cookie break.
Sarah, actually, that kind of what you were saying about being at a certain age and of a certain type actually got me thinking about your career journey from when we met back in the 90s to now. And you're on fire right now. Like the opportunities that are coming your way are great. They're good. You're working, and I'm seeing you work, but it's been a journey for you.
It's a long wait. I had to age in, which is an odd feeling when everybody's working, and you're watching all your friends working, and it's like, oh God, when is it my turn? When is it my turn?
And the talent that you have is palpable too. So I mean, like, to know that you have something and yet no one is buying it, right?
I was never the girl next door, ever, ever, ever.
Tell me a little bit about.
That's a boring thing to be anyway. The girl next door.
Enough.
The girl next door is the boring thing to be. You can be the big girl next door, but the girl next door, forget it.
There are some fabulous girls next door.
Well,
you look at the role of Casey in My Favorite Year. She's the girl next door, but she's hysterical, and it's right. Like there are some really great ingenue roles that I would have loved to have played, and knowing because at 6 years old my voice came out sounding like Ethel Merman, I knew that it was going to be a really long time before I got to play roles like Paulette or Madame Thénardier, or like all these roles, these wonderful gifts of being a comedic.
What do you say to then young women coming out of school in the industry that still, I mean, things are changing and things have changed, say, in the past 10 years and accelerated in the last 2, certainly. But what do you say to young women who know that there's something there?
Mm-hmm.
Because I mean, some people are delusional. You're not. Know that there's something there, but it's not working. What? And you stayed the course.
Yes.
What do you say to young women out there, young female identifying performers who are not seeing their careers work out the way they originally thought? Where you are now.
I waited tables for 21 years.
Mm-hmm.
And in waiting tables, I met a very large group of ridiculously amazing non-industry people.
Mm-hmm.
And in having a large group of non-industry friends, it kept me significantly grounded. And I just kept working. I just kept doing a full vocal warm-up every day and scratching auditions and going and being seen. And it took me a very, very, very long time and many years of therapy to be able to say to myself, I am fucking talented.
Yes, you are, girl.
Really, really good.
Yeah.
And eventually it will be my time because I really want it and I really believe in myself. And that is, if you have belief in your abilities and yourself, and you can let everybody else, if you can mute all of the voices, you're not fat enough, you're not good enough, you'll never work fat, which I heard for many years. I mean, I am literally the largest I have ever been, and I haven't stopped working for the last 3 years. And yes, things are changing in the industry, and allowing that to happen because...
I mean, yes, and yet at the same time, you're still breaking the glass ceiling. You're still going against status quo.
Yes. There was a musical on Broadway a couple of years ago, and the girl, one of the women that was nominated, was a middle-aged woman, and she was a large woman, and it was she had made her Broadway debut, and she was playing the romantic lead. I think the show is called It's Not About You. And it's about me. I don't know what the name of the show is called. That's terrible. But I was watching the Tonys and I was like, yes, a fat middle-aged woman can play the romantic lead. Yes. 100%.
Beautiful. Yeah. Friends, I'm going to chime in for a quick sec.
Thank you,
for some things.
That's an amazing story. Thank you, doll.
Yeah, absolutely, Sarah. It's before I thank you, Ryan. As we were discussing last night with Tom, it's this show as it's evolving. I mean, here you are, our beautiful 4th guest, and 4 is my favorite number. So there you are.
my necklace was inspired by Tom Allison because he wore sparkles.
He did. Which was inspired by Kelly Holliff. So Kelly Holliff is like, I just, nothing. Anyway.
Kelly Holliff is just the daily inspiration for me anyway. Just thinking of her. She gets me out of bed.
It's true. But what I wanted to share was that, as we were talking about, hi, Kelly. As we were talking last night, it's important that even in the midst of our, our celebrations, we need to acknowledge the challenges, right? We need to keep it real. Kind of, I guess that's kind of where I was at this morning, you know, in telling you that I was having a tough day, and I just wanted to speak to that through voice.
You were not alone, Chris. A lot of my feed is having a rough go right now. To be honest, I'm watching a lot of people's having bad dreams and not sleeping well. And,
I just don't sleep anymore. Like I'm like literally doing TikToks at 3 a.m. and then laying down for a few hours and then getting up when it's light again. And
yeah. Well, I think what's interesting is for you know, we as performers in the industry, we're used to the ups and downs, right? We're used to the ebbs and flows, and we get a phone call or an email at like 8 o'clock at night that we have an audition at 9 a.m. the next day, so we have to have like full sides in a song ready. You know what I mean? So we're used to turning. But the thing is, I guess with the realities of Corona and COVID, you know, we don't know what this looks like. We don't know what the trajectory is. We don't know how long this is going to go. And for those of us who we're always about forward momentum, we're always about projects. So, and you know, the reality that we're having to, you know, spend an inordinate amount of time in our homes is a very, and as we as social beings who thrive on, even though we've got all these beautiful feeds, you know, we have the benefit of the three of us on this screen playing with each other, but you know, we're used to playing for like 100 plus, you know, so there's an energy exchange there that we're not
we're also used to being in the room when we're working together and bouncing, like it's an energetic thing, and touching each other. And I'm not the most huggy person, but I do love a Sarah Strange hug. I mean, come on. There's nothing that matches.
His heart.
It's true.
Liz, your heart has to touch the other person's heart.
Yeah. But this is just about filling the vessel. You know, this stuff is certainly making a difference for me every day. I mean,
yeah, me too. Anyway, I'm gonna take the screen for a second, do a couple shout outs.
Okay.
Please do.
So I want to excitedly share. We have a $100 donation for the AFC from Peter Labuse. We have a $200 donation from Gail Murphy, which is super exciting. I wanted to shout out again the continued support of our brilliant graphic designer and marketing director for Toronto Musical Concerts, Agostino Leone, who reminded me to let you folks know, if you've missed any of our live episodes online, please remember that you can watch our full archived videos on our YouTube channel, Toronto Musical Concerts. Or if you just want to see clips, you can also, because of all the work he did last night, speaking about staying up all night doing TikTok, Agostino was up all night doing wonderful work for our Instagram.
Not all night.
Okay, you can see highlights of our episodes on Toronto Musical Concerts Instagram account through the IGTV channel Big Girl and Friends. And if you're following us at all on and you want to tweet anything about it, please make sure you use our hashtag Big Girl and Friends. So I was chatting about nursing homes recently. I was talking about how our friend Elizabeth Baird couldn't visit her mother, and my friend Charlene couldn't visit her mother for the same reasons, because of breakouts and issues. But there is a brilliant company that exists in the city of Toronto. They're based here, but they serve the entire province of Ontario, called Smile Theatre. And Smile Theatre focuses on bringing entertainment and outreach to seniors that are in long-term care facilities. They have a really, really exciting initiative going on right now called Sing a Song for a Senior. So normally what Smile does is bring performers into the nursing homes, but of course, under current circumstances, they're prevented from doing so. So they've turned over to an online module by which they are encouraging. So all of you watching who are musical theater performers, they're asking you, through this Sing a Song for Seniors initiative, to record a video of yourself with a hello to a senior and a song that can be shared with these isolated seniors currently in long-term care. Smile Theatre's network, as I said, spans Ontario. They have about 50 long care homes that are currently involved in this, and they say that residents are just adoring this. So if you're interested in participating, and I encourage you all, please, to record a video and jump on this initiative. You can contact Tom Carson, who's the executive director at Smile Theatre, either through Facebook. You can find him through a direct message on Facebook, or you can email him through smiletheatre.com. But please jump on this, sing a song for a senior, and make a senior's day, which would be beautiful.
What an amazing idea and a great initiative.
Absolutely.
I love that so much.
Yeah, me too.
Yeah.
That's fantastic.
So, I'm just mindful that we got about 10 minutes to our stream, and we still got a fabulous song to sing. So, Sarah, you talked about how some of your friends are feeling low. So when you are in a position where you're feeling less low, what are some of the energies that you're putting out to the people that you care about, that you're interacting with through the phone? And like, how are you reaching out to your community as they're navigating this uncharted territory?
Mostly by being a weirdo and baking things on the internet and singing show tunes at the same time.
Yeah.
I baked the ugliest cake of my whole life the other day, and it was a lot of fun. We had a lot of fun. I'm not going to lie. I also have been drinking wine.
Hey,
Fair enough.
my partner Gavin, if he doesn't hate me for saying this, he's like literally 6 o'clock on the dime. He's like, cocktail hour, not before 6, but 6 o'clock, a smart cocktail, which is, he's been around Cocktails and Candy Canes, our annual holiday cabaret with Toronto musical concerts. So he's like, cocktail hour. So ding. Anyway, so
I did post a thing online that was like, how is everybody feeling today? And got a fair amount of comments, and I was trying my best to keep on top of them, to be like, we're all in this. Everybody, we're all here.
And we all have those indulgences that we need to treat ourselves with. I mean, for me, I do, and you guys know this is about me. I'm someone who does enjoy a wake and bake. And then, Diana Coatsworth found chocolate in her cupboard today, which is very exciting. She put that on Facebook. And so she's enjoying herself with her little indulgences, and also putting together, what did she do this week? The Sewing Army, I believe. And she's giving sewing tutorials online, actually, because her clothing is beautiful, and her design sense and her fashion sense is amazing. So, I find it's amazing that people are not only comforting others by putting up, but also indulging in like the things like the good china. I got it sitting around in the house. I'm not doing anything with it. I may as well eat off it, right?
Well, just talking, Gabby and Jeremy just chimed in. As we discussed when Gabby and Jeremy were our guests on Tuesday, they got married this past fall, and Sarah made them a brilliant cake.
Oh, I saw pictures. It was beautiful.
There was a house.
Tell us about that. And it was a house. And what was on top of the house?
So they asked me to bake their cake, and I said, like, have you given any thought to theme at all? And they were like, what? I was like, theme. Think about it. Go away. Talk about it. Think about it. Come back. We'll discuss. And they thought about it. And what they came back was, because they're both performers and they both travel, wherever they are, as long as they're together, it's home for them. So I built them a house. I built them a ridiculously cute cottage. It did start to tip into the evening, but it was really tasty. I did two little, like a little Gabby and a little chair standing up front in front of their front door. And there was a fiddler on the roof, because they met doing fiddler. And he was itsy bitsy doing his little fiddle. I was like, oh God, I'm never.
Yes, but the forced perspective was necessary.
I'm embarrassed. I'll have to put it on Instagram. I will put it on Instagram. I have a photo of the cake, and I'm going to post that out tomorrow or later tonight. Yeah, absolutely. Yeah. Well, listen, a couple beautiful more donations. We have a $100 donation from an anonymous donor. Thank you for supporting.
Thank you.
And a $250 donation from Lynn McQueen.
Thank you, Lynn. Thank you very much.
I think it's time for your final beautiful musical.
Oh, sing us out of the evening, Sarah. What are you going to sing for us next? What are you going to do?
Well, I thought it was appropriate to end on a piece that would just bring hope.
As you do.
In a time like this. So I chose As We Stumble Along.
All right.
Beautiful. Beautiful. Enjoy.
And may I get an F, please? As we stumble along on life's funny journey, as we stumble along into the blue, we look here and we look there, seeking answers anywhere, never sure of where to turn or what to do. Still we bumble our way through life's crazy labyrinth, barely knowing left from right or right from wrong. And the best that we can do is hope stumble along. It's a dismal little world in which we live. It'll bore ya till you've nothing left to give. 7 overrated wonders, 7 underwhelming seas, 6 excruciating continents, Antarctica. Please. Whew. Still, you mustn't let it lick ya, this planet. Oh, so bland. Keep your eyeball on the highball in your hand. As we stumble along, cross life's crowded dance floor, as we push and we shove, we live and we learn. And when we finally leave the bar and we see that morning star, we pull our bootstraps up and homeward turn. Still we bumble our way across life's crowded moonbeams, barely knowing right from right and left from wrong. Just as long as we can hear that little bluebird sing his song as we stumble along, as we stumble, bumble, fumble, as we stumble
Awesome! That was so great. Thank you.
Oh,
I didn't do. I didn't rehearse with the lime wedge.
Oh, did you get a shot of lime in the
I
eye?
got a little spritz in my eye.
Oh, get those limes out of my face.
a little moisturized. They're a little moist.
Oh, honey, well, dump it down. Oh, Sarah, that was amazing. That was so good. Oh, man. Thank you.
Thank you. Thank
Such
you.
an inspirational song, too.
And
Sarah,
thank
and
you, my
so-
neighbors. Thank you.
And so awesome to have 2 Canadian musical songs on our program tonight.
Oh, yeah.
Thank you, Sarah.
Yeah, 'cause that was that Fringe success. Or that Fringe,
Yeah.
Yeah.
Sarah, you are a dream. You are sweetness and light. You are a stalwart talent. You are a beautiful friend. You are an amazing colleague, and we're just so grateful that you were with us tonight.
Thank
and,
you so much.
We're super excited. Don't leave, Sarah. We'll talk to you after we go offline. But really quickly, I want to make sure I've got this next thing. Tomorrow we've got straight from the Broadway as he's starring in Moulin Rouge as Baby Doll.
Right.
Our wonderful guest, Mr. Jay Magus. And Jay Magus sings higher than most of the women in this industry.
He and Joel Cumber could have like a high note off, don't you think? Those two.
It's absolutely true.
He's amazing. I'm so excited to hear him sing.
Well, having you as part of this launch week lineup has just been such a dream for Ryan and I, and for being a friend of Big Girl and a company member of Toronto Musical Concerts. So we thank you all. Thank you for all who generously donated. Whether or not you do it during the broadcast, you can do it anytime. AFC Helps is going to need your support as they're supporting our artistic community.
Share our archives with your friends and family too, if they've missed any of our shows, to keep them happy and occupied as well. That's why we're here too, to keep the joy bubbling and the hope growing.
Yeah. So total donations tonight of $650, which is abundantly grateful. And we look forward to seeing you tomorrow. Let's see tonight if I actually turn off the thing. So yeah. So Sarah, thank you. Ryan, we'll see you tomorrow. And ladies and gentlemen, Good night until 7 p.m. tomorrow evening.
Good night, everyone.
Woo.